Excuse me because you keep changing his name. All right, so so maximise profit. So what I do is I work with businesses and we help them identify and implement profit growth strategies into their business. So go to the next slide. Perfect. So I only joined the group in about October, November of last year, and because I have a client straight after this, I never get to come down to Urban, so I'll have to give you the rundown of a bit about me before we get going. So wife and 2 kids. My wife's a primary school teacher at Marymount Primary. My daughter has just started week this week at Griffith Uni. She's doing a law degree, law and criminology, a double degree. And my young fella Angus, year 10, just finished his Nippers career. So he's just finished his last year of Nippers and got in the top 10 for a 2K beach sprint, which is, pretty amazing. Young fella, very fast. Doesn't get that from me, so I must get that from his mum. So next one. Yep, all right. So prior to starting this business, I worked for a whole range of corporates. So I'm a qualified CPA by trade. Been doing that for about 20 years and worked doing business improvement and business growth with a whole bunch of these companies, Commonwealth Bank, business banking through to business advising at Southern Cross Uni a couple of years ago. All right. Oh, and then just last month I just did this fundraiser for skin cancer. Well, not for skin cancer, for cancer research, where you had to surf every day for the month of February. Well, yeah, I know. So people said, oh, gee, that sounds hard. Yeah, so I got to about day 5 and the hips started to seize up and the lower backs started to get sore. And then I was walking home and turned on the news and they said, oh, there's Cyclone Gabriella is just starting to form out on the coast. So next week then the cyclone came through. So it went from flat to 3 metres to back down to flat, and it was a good month. But anyway, we got through it, we survived, didn't get dragged out to sea, and there we go, we're alive. All right, so what we do. So the basic premise of what we do is we help a business identify 2 points. So point A, where they are now, and point B, where they want to get to. And then the strategy stuff that we do is the bits in between to get them between the 2 points. And believe it or not, we will spend, just go back a slide. Believe it or not, we will spend a bunch of time on this slide getting clear on where they want to get to before we start to devise how to get there. All right, now go. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just walk you through what my business model is and what you expect if I start to work with a client. Okay, flick. All right, so what we target with a client is to get them above average net margin for their industry. So we want to identify where they are now and where they want to get to in 12 months. Yep, next one. All right, so we have three foundations. So cash flow. So we want to measure their cash conversion cycle. We want to identify what constraints are in their business, and we want to remove those constraints in their cash flow. The objective here is to get their incoming cash to at least meet their outgoing cash. Negative, not good, yeah? Yep, you guys are all business owners. When negative, very stressful. All right, our margins. So we want to get our margins increasing for every dollar of sale. We want to get you to keep more. So that the final outcome that we want to get after we've reviewed your margins is that your incoming is now exceeding your outgoing. And then we're starting to get into a good position. And then across on our profit side of things, we've got top 10 profit strategies. We want to implement those into your business so that you're now incomes, we're already exceeding. Now that you're making more, not only you're making more, you're now keeping more, and then you can do stuff with it. You can invest with it, you can go on a holiday, but you've at least got choices. That's it. Next one. All right, now we have 3 fundamentals. So our 3 fundamentals are we assess. So the first thing is we want to assess. That's that little red arrow that we had on the other slide. Assess where you are now in point A. We then create a plan of how to get from your point A through to your point B, and then performance is all about improving the performance of your business vehicle. Next one. All right, so in our assessment part, so we're going to go through your data. So we're going to go through your financial statements, your income statement, your balance sheet, your cash flow statement. We're going to go through your sales data, your lead tracking data, any other data you've got in your business, because the better data that you have and the clearer on it you are, the better decisions we're going to make going forward. And then we're going to dive into what your business model is. So how are you currently, and what are you currently doing to get the results that you're currently getting? And do we need to tweak that business model to get to our destination? Next one. All right, so after we've done that, we then create a detailed growth map of your business. So we've got like 40 different strategies to choose from, and we use the SMART framework for that. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And we're going to set up this growth map, and we order our priorities in order of what's going to achieve you the most profit as quick as possible. And that's our guideline to get us to our destination. Next one. All right, so after we've got our plan in place, we've got our goals and our target set, and we're now measuring our performance, we've got regular income insights that we can now tweak to adjust our different strategies as we go forward. And because we're doing this on a regular basis, our profit is now being accelerated, our implementation is being accelerated, and we're now starting to achieve what we're after, which is exponential growth in your business. Yep. Next one. All right, cool. So when we start to work with someone, what do we expect? So our first 90 days is we do this profit acceleration review. So it's a detailed Q&A on your business, what you're doing, what you're not doing. We come up with a roadmap. Out of that, we also get a whole bunch of information for that out of your business plan. Now, believe it or not, many business owners, let's call it 90%, don't have an active business plan in their business. So we're going to set you up with a business plan, at least the foundations of it, so that we can get our profit acceleration review done. We're going to review your KPIs, and we're going to update your KPIs because we've now got different targets that we're heading towards. So what you were previously measuring, if you were measuring, is now changed. And then we're going to get some tactical wins on the board so that you're getting a return on investment on your payment. Oh no, stay back. Yeah, we're still in 90-day land here. Yeah. After 90 days, we've got our profit acceleration implementation. So as I said, we've got like 30 to 40 different strategies that we've identified, and we just go through knocking those off one by one. The beauty of that is we've got a roadmap that we can then tweak because, as you know, things change, inflation goes up, interest rates go up, a pandemic hits, and so your plan has to adjust to the environment. So we're constantly aligning our plan to your strategic goals. We provide you with weekly accountability or fortnightly accountability to keep you on track with what you're doing. Funny enough, a lot of business owners start to work on their business, but they keep getting sucked back into working in their business. Things change, they lose a staff member, they go back, I've got to do that myself. No, you just need to keep hiring someone. We just need to get better at hiring and recruiting. We then provide you support, and because we're measuring your performance on an ongoing basis, our performance measurement gets going and we remain outcome focused. And anyway, that's what our model looks like. Here we go, we're done.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, questions?
We're in business, aren't we? But that's really, really important to listen to.
Could you give us an example of something that you felt and what they did to, what they implemented to have the results?
Yep, sure. Let's go with one of the guys I'm working with at the moment. So he's a music school. So he was previously running one site with 5 rooms. That was just on a year ago. So we reviewed his business model. So now today he has 2 sites, 8 rooms, a retail store. He now does in-school programs into 3 or 4 different primary and secondary schools. He has an online store where he now sells instruments, like drop shipping through 4 or 5 different wholesalers. So that was just all about changing his business model and changing how his lead generation was working. So previously his lead generation was all going out into the marketplace. Now his lead generation is paid. He goes into primary schools, gets paid to teach them, and then shuffles them down the road into his school for extra tuition. Yeah, so there we go.
So if we have a number of tenants, obviously they're all commercial business owners, so they range from just startups to having businesses for every business is different, but is there kind of a ballpark figure you think, oh, it's going to be between $3,000 and $5,000 to come and have something set up with you as a startup business, because they need all the help they can get to progress forward, and we're finding now that new startups are going into premises and they're struggling because they have this idea that they go in and everybody would walk past and it's all going to be great.
Yeah.
But that's not how it happens.
Yeah, right.
So for me to go out to them and say there's this great guy who does this and refer to you,
Yeah.
first thing they'll come back up before I go there, I mean, what kind of price is it going to be? It's going to
Yeah.
be $10,000, $20,000, or is it going to be between 5 and 10? Is there a ballpark?
There's a number of things we can do, but if you work on $1 for every 10 they make.
Okay.
Does that make sense? We trade, it's a good return.
Yeah, that's really good.
And does it make any difference in the business model would be the same, or if you're not a specialist in a certain industry, does your business model change? Because if you're knowledgeable in a certain industry, that advice might be different, or but the business model principally probably stays the same.
No, you can have two businesses in the same industry and their business model completely different. Yeah, so that's what that's what we want to do when we work with someone. Is this business model going to facilitate you adding an extra 5-10% to your net margin, or do you need to sell additional products and services? Do you need to sell real estate training as opposed to just always selling properties, for example? You know, that's a change in your business model, gives you a recurring income stream as opposed to a one-off sale all the time. So we tweak your business model to facilitate you getting to the end of the road. Yeah, there we go.
So what I'll do, I'll email that to you next week in regard to his speech as well.